are looking at now, this next section is cherishing others. We, in this text that we're using, it doesn't explicitly go into this part. So, just to review, how we've started our path to developing universal love and compassion using this particular 7-point cause and effect system. We're only on, point number 2, actually, which is to equalize self and others. Now, in equalizing self and others, what this means is that we come to see others as important and that their happiness matters, and we don't want them to suffer, equal to how we don't want to suffer and we want to be happy. And it is not a neutral amount, right? It's quite affectionate, similar to how we feel about ourselves. We really care a lot about our own happiness. Don't we care a lot? We're not lukewarm about it, not even at all, right? We want to be happy all the time. We don't want to suffer any time. We're not talking about generating equality that is just, oh, yeah, they're as important, but a feeling that we really genuinely cherish their happiness. Their happiness really matters to us. And we will act upon that wish, feeling that we wish them to be happy. We'll take action, just like we do with ourselves. We take action, don't we? If something is, we think something will bring us happiness, or if we think something, if we think something will bring us happiness, we're looking at it on Pinterest, we're thinking about it, we're looking at it on social media, this kind of thing. Does this happen to you? I really enjoy doing this actually, thinking about it and, you know, I get on different things. Like right now, it's like RVs, RV life, because I picture going around the country giving Dharma teachings. So I have such fun. And boy, will I one day, I want to act on this. Right? So it's a lot of feeling and a lot of impulse to act that we're trying to develop on behalf of others. The same feeling that I will act strongly upon this wish that you would have happiness. That's what cherishing others means. And I have put it in a slide, at least the definition for you. I like this image here for us because now we're becoming angels. That's what we're doing. The last section, we looked at identifying self-cherishing or selfishness, right? Now, this time we're going to do the other end of the experiment. For 1 month, we experimented and tried to see what selfishness did to us, did in our relationships, did in our own level of happiness. Now we're going to experiment the other direction, where we're going to see and reflect on and identify what cherishing others does to us in our relationships, how it benefits, well, us basically. Because we only really can know the effects it has on us. But certainly it does make others happy because others are also thinking their happiness is important. They're going around thinking I'm the most important. So when you think they're important too, then you guys are in agreement. Oh, yes, you're right. I am so important. Thank you for noticing. Yes, I really did want that last piece of cake. Thank you very much. I appreciate you noticing my gaze of desire. Thank you. I did not notice your gaze. And then you're both happy because you're delighting in their delight eating that last piece of cake, and they're delighting as well. So different than when we cherish ourselves, than you're, fork fighting over the last piece, right? No, mine. Symbolically speaking, I don't know that we fork fight, but in our mind we are over whatever it is that we think we want that others might have over us or get instead of us, right? So I am going more deeply into the results of cherishing others than the text does. Just because this is the way I learned it. I learned it as you study self-cherishing and then you study cherishing others. You study the faults of selfishness and the benefits, the beneficial results of cherishing others. And I think it's worth doing this for a whole month so that we can truly experience what happens in our life when we start cherishing others. It's all a big experiment, right? It's all experiential. Again, this is the part we're on, equalizing self and others. Cherishing others means we feel the other person's happiness is important to us. And we have the intention to act for their happiness and well-being. So this is two parts, doesn't it? It has a view, which is also pervaded by a feeling, right? It's a openness to someone. It's a warmth, an affectionate kind of feeling towards another. It views them as important, right? Like we view, say, our pet as very important. We view them as so important. That's our view. And we have an affectionate feeling. And because we view them as important, we are willing to go out and look really stupid in public when we bring our three dogs in a baby carriage. I've got a double decker, you guys. I got two in the top deck, one in the bottom deck. And I just take them wherever they're allowed to go and just allowed by the skin of our teeth allowed to go. Boy, because they don't want to be left home alone. Trust me, they look at us like, where are you going without us? So because I feel their happiness is important, it's even more important than our happiness, which is to be relaxed and, just going shopping for fun, right? Instead of looking at them in the carriage, right? And they're actually giving us the side eye because they don't want to go clothes shopping. They hate clothes shopping. Now, the pet store all day. They'll go to the pet store all day and be so happy. But they definitely are feeling their happiness is important. And we also feel their happiness is important. And we act upon it. So it's a feeling and it's an action. And incidentally, this is how we view love. Love is both a feeling we have towards someone, but it is also action. And it's, when we truly love another person, we cherish their happiness, we think their happiness is important, and we will act on that. It's two things in Buddhism, love. It's not just a feeling, because in fact, that feeling could be arising from attachment, which is the opposite. Attachment is the opposite. So when you look at, if I were to say this says loving others, right? It's the same. When you love others, this is it. You love them, you have their happiness is important, and we act with love. When we have attachment to them, we are viewing our happiness as important. So they better act the right way. They better do what we expect them to do, right? They better, use enough deodorant, get rid of that crystal, whatever. No. They gotta do what we to make us happy, right? And our intention when attachment is arising is selfish. So that every relationship is a mixture of the habit of love, which makes a person feel free, actually, free to be themselves, free to act and do as they feel comes naturally. It's a feeling of freedom when someone is loved by you. But when attachment is arising in our mind, the habit attachment, it doesn't feel that way. The person feels constrained, like, oh, they have these expectations of me, right? And it doesn't feel the same kind of freedom that you feel when someone is just loving you unconditionally, right? And because we are at the level we're at now, we have the habit of attachment and we have the habit of love. We have the habit of cherishing others, and we have the habit of selfishness. So you can see how these two habits are always at play, aren't they? You can feel so loving, 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 and then someone says something to hurt your feelings, and then bam, we're thrown into the midst of attachment to say how others see us, right? We're plunged into this other habit, you know? It's a very sad thing, and you are not to blame. I want you to know this. You are not to blame for your being thrown into the depths of attachment or selfishness. This is what plagues all life, not just human life, but all life. So this habit of selfishness, which also comes from just thinking the self exists as separate from others, that self and other starts, and we naturally protect ourself. But in the protecting of ourself, sometimes we harm others, and that causes a ripple effect of karma where we suffer in the future. So it's quite a sad thing that happens, and it's nobody's fault, right? If someone has a lot of attachment, it's not their fault, right? And maybe the attachment comes up because they're feeling afraid or hurt or scared to lose somebody. So the attachment grasps, right? You know, I'm the opposite. When something happens, I want to run. That's my bad attachment thing. I'm a runner. I really try to work on that. But this is something I've developed since I was in high school when I was a runner. No, actually, I was a runner all the way in kindergarten. Take that back. I did not like my school when I was in Miami. I couldn't understand the teacher's very thick accent, and they thought I was real dumb, which I don't really, my parents were like, you are so smart. You're not dumb. But I still felt dumb. So you know what I did? I climbed the fence and ran away. Yet in Miami, mind you, during the height of the cocaine cowboy time, you know, when the streets were wild and everyone was packing heat, and I just was running down the road, leaving kindergarten, right? So why does this happen? We get attached, right? So sometimes when attachment arises and we're trying to protect our happiness and freedom from suffering, we act in ways that are not good for us. It is not good for a 5-year-old to run down the streets of Miami, you know, in the hood, essentially. It was not smart or good, but it's the reaction that one has, and it's nobody's fault. It's just what we have been conditioned to experience. Okay, so now this whole month, we're looking at the results of cherishing others. This is going to be real fun. But right now, we're only on it causes all happiness. The results of cherishing others is the cause of all happiness. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit more first. So you remember the other phrase from our text, which was, banish the one to blame for everything. Right? Banish the self-cherishing and self-grasping that is to blame for all difficulties. Well, now we get to do the fun part, which is practice cherishing others and seeing if it is indeed the cause of all happiness. So this month is going to be all about in your daily life practicing this, developing this mind that does for others with an open heart. And principally, though, it's the intention in our mind that they're happy, that you want to bring them happiness and not suffering, right? And seeing what results it has. So no matter what we're meditating on, your practice is going to be cherishing others as much as possible. Now, cherishing others is not just being nice. Sometimes it doesn't look even like that, right? Sometimes because you want the best for someone, sometimes it is withholding what they immediately want, right? You know, um, I'm sure Cody, Kelly's son, would love to have ice cream for dinner every single night, right? Now, gosh, it would be like the nice mom, which she's already the nice mom, okay? By far the nice mom. But the nice mom is not going to give him ice cream for dinner every single, maybe one night. I suggested this the other night to Missy, ice cream for dinner. In fact, we had real dinner. I found some really good lactose-free, non-dairy. Yes, they have this now. I've only just discovered Ben and Jerry's non-dairy. Ice cream for dinner. Anyone? Anyone? Right? So nice and kind are not the same thing. We're really talking about kindness. In fact, you could even, when you're talking about cherishing others, you could replace this with kindness. It's kindness to others. And what does the Dalai Lama say his religion is? Kindness. His religion is kindness. So I would say that for me, I take that as my religion is kindness. So it really is. I don't think Buddhism is solely for Buddhists or, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't have the copyright right on kindness, but kindness is my religion. That's the extent to which we take practicing kindness towards others or cherishing others to heart, that it becomes such a central part of us that is our religion. I mean, this is up to you, of course. You can do anything you want. You can make eating ice cream for dinner your religion if you want to. You can, but I'm only saying this in the sense that you can see how important a practice this is. That it's like it becomes your religion, loving others, which is not just a feeling, but it is a feeling that inspires action. You love others, and so you are kind, and you are kind, and you are kind. You're just the embodiment of kind, right? I was working on this blog post for someone, I do their marketing, and I always sit with her and ask her well how she does her therapy, right? So it's really her ideas, not mine, but then I can write around it. And she was doing red and green flags for relationships, for premarital counseling. right? And so one of her major red flags to watch for is she said, watch how someone acts towards people who are vulnerable, right? To you, to them. Like the server that can't say anything, right? At the restaurant, this, or the elderly or their children, right? Or their elderly parents or, whoever it is that is vulnerable because of maybe a power dynamic or their innate vulnerability, like children. How do they act towards them? So obviously, it's a really green flag if they're very kind. And if they're not kind, it's a big fat red flag. I know. It really is, isn't it? We want to make our heart one that is kind in almost every situation. And this is not to become doormats, because that is not kind. It's you might be being nice and letting yourself be a doormat. Do you see what I'm saying? You could be nice, but not helping them in the long term. And this is definitely not about that. It's a kindness that is pervaded by wisdom. What is the wisdom here? And so we say in Buddhism that all happiness comes from this loving kindness, this cherishing others. Every single one of our happy, pleasant experiences come from some kindness we did in the past. Now, for example, I'll give you an example. I'm not going to talk a lot about how karma functions, but we'll talk about it a little bit, and then we next week might talk about it a little more. Because this idea of cherishing others, being kind to others, we look at the result of those actions and we think, this is where all of my future, present, and past happiness comes from. So the law of karma, I'm going to share this with you real quick. Just briefly. So this is Buddha talking about karma in the Dhammapada, which he did multiple times. But he said this, think not lightly of good, saying, it will not come to me. Drop by drop, the water pot is filled. Likewise, the wise man, gathering it little by little, fills himself with good. And he actually, in that same section, talks about good meaning bliss. Eventually, bliss comes from filling yourself. You become a little pot filled with bliss. Doesn't that sound good? I'm the little teacup, short and stout. Here is my handle. Here's my bliss, all the way up. Bliss, 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 bliss. Doesn't that sound good? Okay, so karmic results. You can see how everything ties together, right? Because karma goes back all the way to the first noble truth, right? How things manifest. And so now, okay, karmic results are fourfold. Every action has the potential to ripen in, well, it's called the ripening result, but what it means is a rebirth. Like you do good things, wholesome, kind things result in a human rebirth or higher. Because it's, animal realm, hungry ghosts, and so forth, those levels, all temporary, but there's more suffering involved. The human realm is less suffering than the animal realm, for example, which if you're around wild animals at all, this is so the case. So that's the first result. They can push you into a rebirth. The result's similar to the cause. This is what we normally think of when we think of karma, right? Which we love to think of this for others, don't we? Karma's going to get you. I saw that, love karma. Right? We like that. Or there's even a song called Karma is My Kink by mm, what is that one that does the ping pong? Oh, Chapel Rowan. Chapel Rowan. Because what makes her so excited is seeing karma get the best of them. We don't want to do that, but I'm just saying this is what we think of. Only this as what karma is, but it is more than that, actually. It's not just, if we, for example, give to others because we have this affectionate feeling and we want them to have delight in what we're giving them, or they don't have enough food to eat, so we give them money so they have food. If we practice this kind of generosity, the result, similar to the cause, is that we will have lots of resources in the future, wealth, just abundance of food and resources, and also this feeling of having abundance. Because all karma ripens in feeling. That's the main way karma ripens. You might be very wealthy and then think you're so broke because you're looking at, Tom Cruise's compound next door. Then you feel like you're really, oh, we're just eking by with your little mini mansion. And you don't feel, because maybe you feel real anxious about losing your money or something. It's really the feeling of abundance, actually, which is how karma ultimately ripens, this feeling. But this is how we think of things. From giving comes wealth. From, for example, being patient with others comes beauty, or being appealing to others. I know, I love this one because this means that you're not dependent on, it's not about the physical, is it? It's about how you appear to others, right? Beauty is for sure in the eyes of the beholder. If you're a mean person, if you look like a supermodel, you don't appear attractive to someone. So it's that karma to be appealing and beautiful to others comes from having patience ourselves, right? The tendency similar to the cause means habits, right? Habit mind. If we, for example, if we practice saving and rescuing living beings, saving them from a puddle or the pool, the little spiders trapped in the pool trying to swim, you save them from that body of water. Your tendency to rescue living beings becomes increased. You start developing a habit, right? Also, the result similar to the cause you would experience, which is that others would be helping you, rescuing you, caring for you when you're old and you're sick. Also, the environmental result of things is like what the environment is like wherever you're reborn. If you're reborn, say, in a place that has abundant resources, it's the result of having given in the past. And so, how all this ties together with cherishing others is, does anyone have an idea of how it all ties together? Why cherishing others and kindness is the cause of all happiness? You can use the chat too if you want. I can look. Oh, I'll put a picture of the dogs in the stroller. I'll have to find one for you guys. Definitely. Hopefully, I find one with a double-decker action going on. It's not. Yes, because it's not cherishing the self. Right. Exactly. We act in ways that cherish others. And by that intention, we act in those ways and the results come, and they're results that bring us happiness. Right? So we cherished others, so we gave to them, right? We were kind and we gave of our own resources because we cared for them. And now we experience wealth and abundance. We were patient with them because we didn't want to hurt them or make them suffer, right? Like the other day, this waitress spilled a drink like completely on me accidentally. It was like this. Let's just say I got up and I was wringing out my skirt, literally. But I thought, what? This was bad karma for her, but actually it wasn't that bad. See, she has some mitigating good karma because she spilt it on me, who doesn't really care and feels bad for her. I said, oh no, I feel bad for you because she really did feel bad, you know, as you would. Oh my gosh. Oh, Savini's here. Hi. Where is she? That cute little thing. Hi, Savini. I love it. There, I see more of you. Now, I want to do a meditation that is different than I've done in the past. Okay, so I want us to start to feel appreciative of the qualities which bring about our own good fortune and our happiness, right? So it's going to be kind of a meditation on feeling grateful for what we have, but then also feeling grateful for the causes of what we have. Oh, no problem, Holly. It's nice to see you. Bye. So, for example, we'll go through causes as well as what we feel grateful for. So, I'm going to ask you to feel grateful, develop a feeling and thoughts of gratitude about, say, some abundance you have in your life, abundance of resources, right? On whatever level you have that. And then we reflect on the cause of this abundance is having given to others. I'm so grateful that I have that quality in my mind. And chances are you do. You have the tendency, all of you, to be giving, to have this abundance ripening, right? So you think, I'm so grateful that I acted out of cherishing others and I gave to others in the past. And you think, okay, what beauty or what attractiveness we have to others, which is not beauty, but it's like being appealing, like people like being around us, right? We're grateful for that, but we're also grateful for the patience that's the actual cause. We're just going to connect the good things we have with the underlying causes of those things. Right? If we have a stable partnership, we've had stable relationships, it's because we didn't cheat on others in the past. And the reason we didn't cheat on them is because we cared about their feelings. We cherished them. Right? We're just going to go through a few causes and effects, but I want you to connect the causes. Right. And see if you can actually feel gratitude for these things. But even if not, it's an analytical meditation to connect the causes of the good things we experience now with the real underlying mental causes of things. Right? Okay, so let's try this meditation. This is the meditation that is like a mirror. The mirror of karma shows you what you were like in the past by seeing what you are today. Whatever you are today is a mirror into your actions of the past. So if you think you are so hot, which is a feeling, if you go around and think, I mean, I know there's a few of you that you have to feel this way. Because, I mean, what I'm looking at you right now, Michael, for one. I mean, seriously. You're like, oh, yes, thank you for all my patience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, you ready for this mirror of karma? So if you want to check that your back is nice and straight when you get comfortable, you're always welcome to take a cushion and sit on the floor for this, cross-legged if you wish. You can put your cameras off. Mostly you want a nice straight back. Your shoulders are dropped and relaxed. To put your hands in the mudra of concentration, place your hands on your lap with your palms facing upward. Then rest the left hand in the right and let your thumbs form a bridge, gently touching. Your eyes are closed. Breathe through your nostrils, but breathe from deep in your diaphragm. Feel your belly expanding, not your chest. Breathe and come into the present moment. To begin our meditation, please contemplate the abundance you have in your life. Abundant resources, having plenty to eat and drink. Whatever abundance you have, please reflect on it now. Try to feel gratitude for it. You might in your heart even say, I'm so grateful for this. This abundance comes from giving to others in the past because we cherish them. So please try to feel grateful for this. I'm so grateful that I cherished others and gave of my resources. Try to make the connection and feel gratitude. I have all this abundance because I gave to others when I cherished them. Contemplate the health that you've had in this life and just the longevity of your life, how long you've lived. Try to feel grateful for your health and longevity. Try to feel this. You might say it in your mind. I am so grateful for my health and longevity. The cause of health and longevity is having not killed living beings, abandoning killing them like insects and so forth, or rescuing living beings from danger, or caring for the sick and injured. In your mind, connect the cause to the effect. Develop this feeling of gratitude. I'm so grateful that because I cherished others, I cared for them, I rescued them from danger, I cared for them when they were sick or injured, and I abandoned killing them. I'm so grateful I did this. Contemplate the ways that in this life you are attractive to others, appealing to others, physically or sense of humor, whatever it might be. Feel gratitude for this beauty or attractiveness. I am so grateful for this. I'm so grateful that I cherished others in the past and cared about them. So I was patient with them. I'm so grateful I was patient. Contemplate how you've experienced so much kindness in this life and feel gratitude for the kindness you've received. And I am so grateful that because I cherished and cared for others, I was kind. So now I experience kindness. Feel gratitude for the cause. Grateful that I have been kind. So I receive kindness. final object of our meditation is the desire or intention to practice kindness, cherishing others, because it is the cause of our own and others' happiness. So try to think first, cherishing others, kindness is the cause of my own and others' happiness. Is this true or not? You believe this. Kindness is the cause of my own and others' happiness. Conclude with a determination. I will take every opportunity possible to be kind, to cherish others. Make this promise to yourself now. Start to gently relax your concentration. And slowly arise from your meditation. We dedicate the good karma we created together today and make special prayers for our friends and family that have cancer, particularly Nanny Pat and Uncle Leonard. We also pray for Aunt Jude's heart. And we pray for Pat's sister-in-law, Susan. May she discover what's wrong and find relief. We also make prayers for Elaine. May she discover what's wrong and find relief. We pray for Carol and Susan, who lost their partners, their lifelong partners. We pray for their happiness and peace. And not to feel loneliness. May they have connection. We pray for any protesters in America today. We pray for their safety, including our Pat and anyone else going. We pray there's a protection over all of them. We also make prayers and dedicate for all those experiencing great hardship in the Middle East. We pray that they have enough food, safe shelter, freedom from fear. Pray for a de-escalation and peace to come. We dedicate for our own enlightenment, for the sake of all living beings. May we quickly realize the light of our own nature. And finally, we dedicate to the enlightenment of all living beings, without any exception. May all beings realize the light of their true nature. Thank you.